W.A.P. W.A.P. Hey everyone, and welcome back to PlaycrastiNation Population 57. Today's Sunday, January 31st, the last day of January, and it's time for the W.A.P. So I want to go ahead and start off by apologizing. This episode of the W.A.P. is going to be a little bit shorter than most. I know they're usually about 10 minutes. This one is probably going to be closer to 5. I had an event yesterday for my fraternity that ended up going for about 8 hours, which is about 8 hours longer than I wanted it to, so I'm just a little bit crunched on time. And this is actually the second take of recording this. The first time I recorded it, OBS crashed and I lost everything, so hopefully this time's a little more successful. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Part 1 is welcoming new citizens to PlaycrastiNation. This week our population is up to 57, and the new citizens that we gained are named Incognito Shinobi, Bianchi Gaming, Chris Hayner, Lil Doobie, and Het Diamond Sword. So thank you guys so much for the continued support. 57 subscribers, I know to some people might not seem like a lot, but to me, it is just the world to me. It means so much, so thank you guys so much. Alright, now we're moving into part 2, which is channel news. This week was again kind of a slow week, not a whole lot of news, nothing too exciting here in PlaycrastiNation. This week's episodes of The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth were both really good. One of them specifically took a really long time. It was a very slow build, but I think you'll enjoy that episode if you go check it out. In Nuclear Throne this week, we looped for the first time ever, and I made it farther than I ever have been personally, so new personal best. It was a really fun run. In Fallout, we continue with the main story. We're currently hunting down a man named Kellogg, trying to get our son Sean back, and I think we are almost about to get to him, so go watch those. In our Pokemon Randomized Nuzlocke, we didn't have the same luck that we've had in the past 3 episodes, but we're still being carried by that luck, so another really solid episode. And in Banjo-Kazooie, we take on Freezeezy Peak, which is a lot more annoying than I remember it being, so if you want to see me rage at one of my childhood favorite video games, go watch this week's episode of Banjo-Kazooie. Alright, now for some actual channel news. So I've been tossing around this idea in my head for a little bit, so currently, we do the W.A.P. every single week. It's this vlog that you're watching right now. We do it every Sunday. But I kind of want to add some more variety to the channel, and I kind of miss playing those indie games that I used to play from time to time. So here's my proposition. I want to know what you guys think of it. I'm considering changing the W.A.P. to only once every 2 weeks, once every 2 Sundays. And then on those intermittent Sundays in between, we would play a random indie game every week. So that would add for a little more variety on the channel while still doing a vlog every 2 weeks. So let me know what you think of that idea. If it's something that you think is good, let me know in the comments below, and I just might start doing that. Alright, and that's all the channel news we have for the week, so now let's move on to part 3, which is the question of the week. This week's question of the week comes from Billy1414Bob, and he asks, who's your favorite character from The Office? So for those of you who don't know, The Office is the greatest show on the history of television, and if you think something else is the greatest show in the history of television, you're wrong. Oh, but Parks and Rec is so much better. You gotta watch 24, man. It's Jack Bauer's amazing. Oh no, Survivor's my favorite. No, wrong. The Office. Seriously though, The Office has been one of my favorite shows for, geez, 7 or 8, probably, I guess however long it's been on. I started about season 2 and I've been watching since then. I've probably watched through the entire show like 6 or 7 times from start to end, so it's an amazing show. If you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Picking a favorite character is kind of tough though, because the character development in The Office is so good compared to any comedy that I've ever watched. You know, part of me wants to... Just the neighbor's kids, ignore them. Part of me wants to pick Jim, because as you know, but Jim's everybody's favorite. He's such the vanilla choice. But I have to admit, I love his little sarcastic quips that he randomly, dishes out to people. Something that I, maybe inspired to be able to do someday. Hopefully if I ever train this noggin. I could also go for the hipster pick and be like, oh, my favorite character is Hide. He's the hottest surgeon #1. Just for the record, that's like an actual quote from The Office. I'm not trying to be racist, just throwing that out there. If I had to pick the funniest character in The Office, I think it'd have to be Creed Bratton. Creed's, just got this aura of mystery around him. He's not necessarily an interesting character. He doesn't really change a lot through the series, but he's got these one-liners that he just throws into episodes that are just they're the funniest parts of the entire series. Whether it's him mistaking the smell of poop for soup, or whether it's him dyeing his hair with ink from a printer, this guy just has the funniest, most random moments in the entire show. If I had to pick a favorite character though, I've got to go with Michael Scott. Now, not only does Michael's idiocy provide some of the funniest moments in the entire show, but he also exhibits some of the biggest character growth of any of the characters in the entire series. In the beginning, season 1, Michael is just this hated boss. Everybody despises him. There's not many redeeming qualities about him. He's racist, he's mean to his employees, he makes offensive jokes, not funny jokes. Kind of sounds a little bit like me if you think about it. But as the seasons progress, you start to learn more about this character, and you realize he's just a guy that just wants to make friends. He grew up as a kid, never had any friends, never really fell in love, and now he's an adult and he still can't make friends. So it's kind of like a tragic, you can really sympathize with that character. And then you get to the point where he leaves in season 7, and that honestly was one of the saddest episodes of TV I've ever watched in my entire life. Of course, throughout the series, it doesn't matter if it's season 1 or season 6, Michael's gonna act like a baby, he'll throw a little temper tantrum like a 2-year-old, but the personal growth that character goes through is awesome. And so for me, Michael Scott is my favorite character, with Michael Scarn being a very close second. You jump to the right and you shake that hand, and you jump to the left and you shake that hand. Meet new friends, tie that yarn, that's how you do the scarn. Anyway, thank you Billy1414Bob for your question. I hope I answered it to a satisfactory status. Let's move on to part 4, which is the tip of the week. Alright, so I've been trying to learn how to play guitar for many years now, probably about 5 or so years. I had a roommate that I lived with for 2 years that had a guitar, so I would, pick his up from time to time and try to teach myself, but I just could never, get the traction necessary to learn how to play guitar. Well, recently I went ahead and enrolled myself in a course up here at my college called Guitar for Elementary Teachers that teaches you how to play guitar and how to teach it to other people. Now, I've only taken 4 one-hour class periods so far, but I want to show you that I came from a guy that knew nothing about guitar, and I want to show you what I've learned so far. Now, obviously it's still not perfect. I've got a lot of chords to learn, I've got a lot of strum patterns to learn, and I still, it doesn't come out super crisp every time I play it. But I went from a dude who can only play Smoke on the Water to a dude who can actually play chords. Anyway, this week's tip of the week: if you truly want to learn a new skill, whether it's playing an instrument, or learning how to rock climb, or learning how to do whatever, take a class in it. For people like me who are procrastinators, it's really hard to self-motivate yourself to learn. Like I said, I tried for 5 years, and I've made more progress in 4 one-hour class periods than I have in 5 years. If you want to learn how to do something new, you've got to commit to it. Go out, buy yourself your instrument, buy all the necessary supplies, and take a course, because the instructors know what they're doing and they can teach you better than you can teach yourself. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. I again apologize for the shorter WAP, just a time crunch and the video crashed, and so hopefully everything works out on this one, and then you'll be seeing this like 30 minutes after I've edited. So thank you guys for watching, and remember, if you are new to the channel and you enjoyed, go ahead and subscribe to become a citizen of PlaycrastiNation today, and I'll see you guys next time. Guitar douche, I'm guitar douche, I am a guitar douche.